Judson Laipply has been seen on the Today Show, Ellen and Oprah, but you probably first saw him with his viral video, The Evolution of Dance. He's been speaking to a wider age of audience for over 20 years, and we're pleased to welcome Judson to our show today. Thanks for being here, Judson.
Excellent. So I have some friends that have this theory that I think is just a brilliant theory, and I've made it one of my missions in life to spread this theory far and wide. Now, the name of the theory is really, really simple. It's just called the struggle bus theory. And what the struggle bus theory is no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what you do in life, every once in a while you're going to have a moment, you might have an instance, you might even have a whole day where you just can't get your brain functioning properly. For whatever reason, you wake up in the morning, there's just a fog over everything that you do. You open up a door, you smack yourself in the forehead. Maybe you've been somewhere like a hotel and you accidentally use the hand lotion as hair conditioner or vice versa, things like that. And they say those are the moments that you are, quote unquote, riding the struggle bus. And I have to admit, I ride the struggle bus a lot. One of the things, for example, I'm a terrible, terrible speller. Always have and always will be. I'm such a bad speller that sometimes I can't even spell a word close enough to get spell checked to recognize the word I'm trying to spell in the first place. For example, I'll be at an airport, not right now, of course, but I'll be at an airport and I'll be waiting to go home and there'll be a problem with the plane. And I have a real problem with the word maintenance. I don't know why, just that word really gives me a problem. So I'll be texting with my wife and I'll be like, the plane has a maintenance. The plane's broken. But we all have those struggle bus moments. And sometimes you'll meet people and sometimes you'll have a really fun or really, really funny struggle bus moment. For example, one time I was at a Subway. I eat at Subway a lot when I travel around. And I don't know if you've ever been into a Subway or not, but Subway apparently really likes lettuce. Like they have a love affair with lettuce. They just think lettuce is the greatest thing on the planet. And they always give you lots and lots of lettuce on your sub. So I always ask for the same thing. I always ask for light lettuce. So I go into a Subway one day and I'm talking to the sandwich artist across the counter and I'm like, I would like light lettuce, please. And this person who was probably distracted by something else just looks at me and goes, oh, I'm sorry, sir. We only have regular lettuce. But those are struggle bus moments. Or you'll have a moment where you might get two phrases mixed up. You have two different phrases in your head and you go to say something and you mix them up together. I used to work retail when I was younger. My parents owned a store. And during the summers, I would work at the store as well as during our festival season. We had this big festival. And I was working with one customer and another customer came up in my peripheral vision. And I went to turn to them to say, give me a second. And as I said that, the phrase, hold on for a minute, popped into my head as well. And I just looked at the person and just said, hold me for a minute. Now, luckily they didn't, and they thought it was funny, but those are struggle bus moments. But what I think is so fascinating, and those are fun, and it helps keep levity in life, and it reminds us that, life can be funny and fun. But I think what's so fascinating is how we look at the word struggle, that the word struggle itself has such a negative connotation. That very rarely when we are in the throes of a real struggle do we say, this is great. Or somebody says, hey, here's an opportunity for something that's going to be really hard and I know it's going to be a struggle and I can't wait. In fact, usually as we go through life, we avoid anything that we believe will actually cause us to struggle. Yet if we take a step back and we look at life and kind of answer or ask the question, why are we here? Everyone at some point in time will ask maybe the most popular philosophical question, what is the meaning of life? We all wonder at some point in time, what is the meaning of life? And I think that's a great question. But I sometimes wonder, what if we just tweaked it a little bit? What if we just, instead of asking what is the meaning of life, asked what is the meaning to life? And the reason I like that question a little bit better is because when we pose it as what is the meaning of life, it lends itself to something that's finite, something that you can point at and you can go, oh, this right here, that is the meaning of life. But when we pose it as what is the meaning to life, it lends itself to something that's ongoing, to something that's a process, to something that can be universal in definition, but different in application for every single person. And I believe the answer to that question, the meaning to life, is to evolve, is to grow, is to constantly work at becoming a better version of ourselves, a better version of our community, a better version of our globe. And we grow most, we evolve most when we struggle. Evolution doesn't happen in the calm in life. Evolution happens in the chaos. And while things sometimes seem difficult and sometimes they seem dark and sometimes we're down, what really is happening is we are given an opportunity to grow. We're given an opportunity to struggle, which in turn leads to that evolution. We are in an unprecedented time. There's no doubt about it. Nothing like this has ever happened before in our current technological world. So what happens to a lot of us is we spend a majority of our time sitting around thinking about, talking about how this has never happened before and what we're going to do. And it's okay to talk about that a little bit. One of the things that you learn when it comes to emotions is that expression is always better than suppression. When you have an emotional reaction to something, when you're dealing with something difficult, your school year being canceled, not being able to finish out an athletic season, not getting to see your friends, being stuck inside, it's okay to express your disappointment, your anger, your sadness. But after we express it, we need to learn to start move past it by simply asking yourself a question, a very simple question of what now? There are usually two types of people in the world when they deal with something that's difficult or something that's causing a struggle. There are the people who then go, okay, what now? What choices do I need to make now to continue to evolve as a human being? And then you have the other people who say, now what? And those are the people who sit around expecting things to continue to get worse. Well, now what? Well, now what happened? Well, now what's going to happen? And now what's going to happen? And we all know people like that. But if you want to continue to take advantage of everything that goes on around you, consistently ask yourself, what now? What choices can I make now? Yes, you might be stuck inside. Yes, you might not be able to go do all the things that you want to do, but what can you still do every single day? Now, I can't tell you what that is because each of it is different for all of us. But when you consistently ask that question, what now? What happens in your brain is a certain part of your brain fires up and it starts to diffuse the emotional response part of your brain. Now, it's not perfect. It's not an automatic switch. But what happens to a lot of us is when we have problems of struggle, and struggle often always brings up emotional responses. And we try to suppress that or we wallow in it for way longer than we should. There's nothing wrong with feeling anything that you'll ever feel. You cannot control your emotions. You accept them, you embrace them, you express them, and then you move forward from there. And that sometimes is very, very simplistic, but that really is truly the key to learning to let go of the struggles that we have and figuring out what choices can I still make every single day in order to continue to evolve as a human being. Because this is the fact of the life that we're living with right now. There is a lot of struggle going on, and there's going to continue to be a lot of struggle going on. But struggle leads to strength. And sometimes we just have to look at that and say, you know what? Yeah, this sucks. But this is also an opportunity to continue to work on this, or to work on this, or to work on this. And it doesn't mean you have to be doing it all day long. It doesn't mean you have to spend 15 hours a day learning a new language. But piecing out parts of your day to find ways that you can continue to evolve and you can continue to learn. Because life will always bring struggle to you. It's what you do with those struggles that oftentimes make the difference. As a matter of fact, if you think of the thing in your life that you are most proud of outside of family, the thing that you have accomplished that you personally are most proud of, let me ask you a question. Was it easy? Probably not. Matter of fact, I bet it was probably one of the most difficult things that you've ever done. And that's because we appreciate things we earn far more than things that we're given. So yes, we are in an unprecedented time, and there's going to be a lot of struggle right now. But I'm telling you, you have the capability to continue to ask, what now? What choices can I make now so that I can continue to move forward and evolve into a better human being? Because we all ride the struggle bus every once in a while. But the key is to not have a permanent seat on the struggle bus.